Welcome back to the 50 Shades of Horror. I'm your host, Roommate. Today we'll be talking about the 30th movie in our series, Mother. This is where you can find this 2017 movie streaming. I'm sure you can tell by now that this challenge is quite eclectic. Each film is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
I'm serious.
And if Jaws is the conventional praline, that would make Mother the crunchy frog.
Don't you even take the bones out? If we took the bones out, it wouldn't be crunchy, would it?
If you haven't seen this movie yet, here's a quick rundown of what to expect. This is a bottle movie. It all takes place in this one isolated home. The movie starts slow and mysterious, seemingly a romantic drama.
Why are you crying?
It's just a lot.
What's going on?
Am I going to lose you?
Never.
Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem play a struggling couple. He is a well-known writer, but he can't bring himself to write more. Avoiding his work, his idleness makes him insecure, pushing them apart.
I was actually enjoying not thinking about it. And now that I am thinking about it, I should go and do.
Hey.
Though she has unwavering faith that inspiration will strike soon enough.
They will. Don't worry.
He's further distracted from his work as a strange visitor shows up. And while he's happy to welcome this man into their home, she isn't. This man is disrespectful to the film's protagonist, corrupting her nice home. Her grievances escalate as the dude's entitled family arrives. And here's where I'll stop spoiling the general plot, because it gets crazy. The experience of the film without knowing more about it is wild. All you need to know is that general setup, but I'll prepare you a bit more.
What is it? What?
This movie is an agoraphobe's worst nightmare. Crowds have never been scarier.
Hey, who are you?
Who are you? What are you doing here?
What are any of us doing here, right?
And while staying home helps most with that fear, it isn't possible here. Her home becomes the public space, leaving her nowhere to go.
You can't be in here. You need to leave. This is our room.
It's your room.
After this obliteration of privacy, things get very violent. There are sudden outbursts of extreme visceral cruelty.
Careful.
And in addition to those fears, the movie shows how scary it is when you don't know who your partner really is.
It is so inspiring, speaking with someone who really appreciates the work.
So is he better?
The couple seems so close together, but when other people come into their lives, she realizes that she doesn't mean as much to him as he means to her.
Oh, no, we're in the way.
No, not at all. No. You're more than welcome to stay here as long as you want.
You have been warned, but the movie's concepts make it worth a stomach churn or two. And the superb acting is a treat even if you ignore the allegory angle. So if you're ready for a heady, bleak, surreal flick, go ahead and watch it.
Go.
The dreamlike nature of the presentation helps mitigate the scariness. You won't need to tell yourself it's only a movie, because with this film, you won't forget. Now that I don't have to worry about spoilers, I can unpack this movie.
Well, where to begin?
Mother is a biblical allegory, but from another universe's Bible. It's familiar to those with even a basic grasp of Christianity. It's hard to miss things like pulling out one of Adam's ribs to create Eve.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, pleasure is mine.
Or the casting of Adam and Eve out of the Garden of Eden.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
They will never get in here again.
And when their twin sons come into their house and one kills the other, it's obviously Cain and Abel.
It's not my fault. They never really loved me. They always loved him more. They were leaving me behind. Tell me you understand.
But there are stark differences too, the biggest of which is our main character. No one character in the Bible correlates to her. The closest is Mary, but that can't be because Mary wasn't around before Adam and Eve showed up. Mother is confined to the home because it stands for the earth. Where else could you go? And as she is so obviously tied to the home, that would make her Mother Nature.
This is all just setting.
So her husband is older than her, and what's older than life? The creator of this realm. He's not alive, he is beyond life. He's the rules for how reality exists. And what's his most prized possession? What Eve ruins before they are cast out of paradise.
When I was younger, I lost everything in a fire. I didn't even know if I could ever create again until I found this in the ashes.
That would be the fruit of the tree of knowledge, though it doesn't look too tasty to me. From its inorganic crystalline structure, there is a genesis of new life, so it represents the intricate physical laws that allow animation. The crystal heart comes from each iteration of Mother Nature. Each one is born from it with the same code buried in the core of their own heart. Nature is thankful for the mathematical design that allows her existence,
It's
beautiful.
But she is not obsessed with its importance, to the chagrin of its creator. She's too busy being creative on her own, but he needs adoration.
I love your work.
Of course we do.
So that's why he welcomes these petty parasites into their home.
We always talk about how this place is too big for the two of us.
They never challenge him, they don't see him as a peer, they all want a piece of him. They all see him as the end-all be-all, the alpha and the omega.
I just want to thank our dear host for his hospitality. I'd like to drink to your kindness.
But nature just wants to build a big house where they both could live. She wants to bring new life into this world, but her husband isn't making it easy.
You talk about wanting kids, but you can't even fuck me.
And when they do eventually conceive, her priorities shift. When her child is brought into the world, it's clear she loves no one more. Her love for both her husband and herself are eclipsed by her love for her child.
Let me hold him.
No.
Let me hold my baby. No. Let me hold him.
No.
I'm his father.
I'm his mother.
But when she rests for just a moment, he snatches up the child for his glory. Look at my child. Look at what I made. This is the ultimate extension of me.
They just want to see him.
No.
Unsurprisingly, they all want a piece of the baby. That would mean this was all for them. The culmination of all his creation was to let them taste divinity. And when nature condemns their disgusting act, they brutalize her. The child isn't only a symbol for Jesus, but also for the world's future. It's a symbol for transcending this eternal cycle of devastation and rebirth. The baby is the only completely innocent, pure soul in the home, but it is at the mercy of the home's current occupants, who are too selfish to help.
He's not dead. A voice still cries out to be heard.
And since they've destroyed all she holds dear, she'll destroy all of them.
I'll just get started on the apocalypse.
She burns down the grotesque mockery the home has become and all in it. The sole survivor is her husband, who solemnly begins the next cycle. Extracting her heart, a new paradise is created from the ashes of their home. The tree of knowledge's fruit is said to teach the difference between good and evil. And in that light, this marriage could be seen as good and evil creativity.
I mean, you're both so different. Must have been what pulled you together.
The mother is the good, creating for the benefit of the creation itself.
We're gonna have a baby.
The father is the evil, creating so that his creation will benefit him.
It's always about you and your work.
And the vainglorious intruders, the human race, seem created in his image. That's what I took from the movie, an encouragement for ethical creativity. Most of us won't create a universe anytime soon, but we do make homes. We have our families, our projects that bring us together and give us purpose. We can ask ourselves why. Is it so our fans will put no other creators before us? So that we will be praised and adored?
He didn't just stumble on us. He's a crazy fan.
I know.
Excuse me?
Or do we do it for the love of the created? Do we generate so that new life may flourish, finding its own joy? Our humble, generous hero inspires us to take a better path.
We spend all our time here. I want to make a paradise.
Her unwavering confidence shows us the strength we need to walk this hard road. This movie isn't for everyone. Not wanting to do this much interpretation is fine.
You believe me, right?
Even for me, there's plenty of stuff I don't understand about it, like what's this yellow stuff? And good luck trying to line up all of these characters with their biblical analogs.
Finisher. 6 more.
But if you get a kick out of theorizing, oh, that's the Great Flood, or hey, are these the plagues of Egypt? Then this movie is a rare treat. With religious, environmental, and artistic metaphors, there's so much symbolism, which is made even harder to parse since it's in a familiar, modern context.
Can I use your phone?
Sure, it's in the kitchen. No, it's just...
Does it mean anything that Adam is an orthopedic surgeon? I don't know. But this opacity to the film's meaning invites repeated, engaged viewings.
amazing.
Even with its thorny points of contention, Mother is a movie worth seeing.
Are you telling me the truth?
The recommendation for another Mother review comes from the Misfit Pond. This channel covers movies that don't always play well to general audiences. It's a great place to discover hidden gems that might be overlooked by most. The passion Carlos has for these movies is always evident. For instance, he has some stern words for the husband character in this clip.
Even after all of the people that worship him did something so incredibly disgusting and horrific, devouring his own child, he is still ready to forgive them and move on because because he would rather have a giant group of people worship him than be the moral one and to put his foot down and say, that was really messed up.
So go to the description for a link to Mother Explained, Characters and Illusions. The next movie in the challenge is 1991's The Silence of the Lambs. Here's where you can find the psychological horror film available for streaming. You know how this goes. I tell you things, you like, comment, and subscribe. Quid pro quo. See you soon.